My sister-in-law knowingly gave my allergic son peanut butter. But moments later, her own daughter's tears exposed everything. I'm 32F, married to J 33M for 6 years. We have one son, Agent 4M. Yes, we're huge Game of Thrones fans. Jay's family and I have never been particularly close. They're deeply religious. I'm agnostic, and for years they blamed me for leading Jay away from the faith. He'd already distanced himself long before we met. We've always been polite, but never warm. Things improved dramatically after Agent was born, especially with my mother-in-law. She started visiting more often, we talked openly, and the tension melted away. My father-in-law has always been respectful and stays out of drama, which I appreciate. Both grandparents absolutely adore Agent, and he loves them back. Jay treasures that bond, so I'm glad it's solid. The real problem has always been Jay's older sister, Joanna, 40F. She has a daughter, Rachel, now 5F, with her ex-husband, Noel. 2 years ago, Joanna's marriage exploded when she was caught cheating with her husband's best friend. Noel fought hard for custody but only got weekends. The whole family was shaken. Despite not approving of the affair, Jay and I stood by her because she's family. When everything fell apart, I offered to watch Rachel every day so Joanna could handle court dates, apartment hunting, and job searching. Agent and Rachel are only a year apart, so they became instant best friends. For about a month, Rachel spent nearly every day at our house. Naturally, when Joanna finally moved out and took Rachel full-time, the little girl was devastated. She cried every time she had to leave Agent. Joanna took it personally. She convinced herself Rachel preferred me and even accused me of trying to steal her daughter. Jay shut that down fast, reminding her we'd bent over backwards to help her through her own mess. After that, Joanna went low contact with us. It hurt because the kids suffered the most. What she never knew was that Noel, on his weekend visits, secretly continued bringing Rachel to our place so the cousins could still play. He made Rachel promise not to tell Mommy. A 3-year-old can only keep a secret for so long. When Joanna eventually found out, all hell broke loose again. My in-laws had to step in and basically tell her to stop being selfish and think about what Rachel needed. Eventually she relented, and we set up a proper playdate rotation. Sometimes at our house, sometimes at hers, sometimes at the grandparents', and sometimes with Noel. The cousins are inseparable like siblings. Since Jay and I decided to have only one child, seeing Agent have that cousin relationship means the world to us. For the past 2 years, surface-level peace has been maintained. I truly believed Joanna had let go of whatever grudge she held. I never imagined she was capable of what she did next. Jay was out of town for work. My in-laws were on vacation. 2 days ago, I came down with a high fever and extreme fatigue. I could barely get out of bed. It was supposed to be Rachel's turn to come to our house, but I was in no state to handle 2 energetic kids. I called Joanna and asked if we could skip this time. Instead, she kindly offered to take Agent for the day and night so I could rest properly. She said she'd pick him up, take both kids to the big adventure park, let them have a sleepover, and I could sleep all day. I was so grateful. It was one of the few times she'd ever been genuinely nice to me. Yesterday at noon, she picked Agent up. I asked her to text updates. She told me to relax, everything would be fine, and I passed out the second they left. At 2:05 p.m. my phone rang. It was Joanna's number, but I heard hysterical crying. Rachel had somehow dialed me. My heart stopped. I later saw she had tried calling once before, but I'd slept through it. I threw on clothes, sped to the adventure park, and found them. Agent was covered in hives, lips swollen, eyes almost shut, anaphylaxis. I rushed him to the ER, shaking with rage but focused only on getting him help. In the hospital, doctors asked the usual questions about allergies. I explained the severe peanut allergy and that everyone in the family knows. Joanna swore up and down he hadn't eaten anything with nuts. That's when Rachel, sobbing uncontrollably, screamed, "Mommy gave him my peanut butter sandwich even though I told her he can't have it." I lost it. I slapped Joanna across the face right there in the ER. She tried to hit me back. Nurses pulled us apart. Rachel clung to my leg, terrified, begging me not to let Mommy take her. I knew if Joanna got her alone that night, Rachel would pay for speaking up. I immediately called Noel. He dropped everything and came. By the time he arrived, the epinephrine had worked and Agent was stable, but they kept him overnight for observation. After Ajan was settled, Noelle, Rachel, Joanna, and I went to a nearby diner so Rachel could tell us exactly what happened, away from the chaos of the hospital. Rachel was trembling. With Noelle's gentle encouragement and Joanna glaring daggers, she told us they had money to buy sandwiches. Rachel got peanut butter, Ajan got jam. On the walk back, Ajan asked for a bite of hers. Rachel refused because Ajan gets really sick from peanut butter. Ajan was sad but didn't throw a tantrum. When they rejoined Joanna, who, inexplicably, hadn't been with them at the sandwich stand, Joanna noticed Ajan looked upset and asked why. Rachel explained. Instead of praising Rachel for protecting her cousin, Joanna scolded her for not sharing, called her selfish, and snatched the sandwich from Rachel's hands. Rachel kept protesting, reminding her mommy over and over that Ajan would get sick. Joanna laughed it off as just a little prank and forced several bites into Ajan's mouth while both children cried and begged her to stop. Rachel said Ajan was trying to spit it out and saying he wanted to go home, but Joanna wouldn't let him. Rachel managed to grab Joanna's phone while she was distracted and hid in the bathroom to call me. Hearing a 5-year-old describe that was soul-crushing. Joanna's only defense was to call her own daughter a liar and say I was insane for believing a child over an adult. When I told her Jay would be informed, panic flashed across her face. She begged me not to tell him, claimed Rachel was making it up, then started backtracking and giving half-explanations. I walked away. I phoned Jay from the car. He was on the next flight home. Ajan was discharged the following morning, tired but okay. He doesn't remember much and still says he had fun with Rachel and Auntie. Noelle later sent us a recording he'd secretly made of Joanna confessing everything to him. In it she cried, said she didn't know why she did it, admitted she panicked about the ER bill so she just waited, and thanked God Rachel called me because otherwise Ajan would have died. Not 1 ounce of remorse for the act itself, just fear of consequences. That recording erased any lingering doubt. This was deliberate. We called Child Protective Services that same night. We laid out everything. Attempted harm to one child, terrorizing her own daughter into silence, refusing medical care over money concerns, the works. Monday morning, CPS showed up at Joanna's door. She instantly knew it was us and sent a string of vicious texts, including one saying she should have finished the job. Jay tore into her on the phone, told her she's dead to us, and that we will protect Rachel from her at all costs. We played the recording for my in-laws. Any attempt to defend Joanna died in their throats. Within days, CPS removed Rachel from Joanna's custody. Noelle now has full physical custody. Joanna's child support payments, which were apparently bankrolling her lifestyle, are gone. Rachel is in therapy for nightmares and guilt. She made us all handwritten, "I'm sorry" cards that broke my heart into a million pieces. Joanna recently tried to pick Rachel up from school. Staff recognized the situation and called Noelle immediately. He's now filing for a restraining order. My in-laws are grieving the daughter they thought they had. Mother-in-law keeps trying to keep the family together. We've warned her that if she continues acting as Joanna's messenger, we will cut contact with her too. Ajan and Rachel still see each other all the time, at our place or Noelle's. Rachel lights up around Ajan, and he around her. We're doing everything we can to give Rachel the stability, love, and maternal warmth she's never truly had. Joanna is blocked everywhere on my end. Jay keeps one line open only in case she escalates further, and we need evidence. This woman looked at my 4-year-old son, knew exactly what peanuts would do to him, ignored her own 5-year-old daughter's desperate pleas, and forced the sandwich down his throat anyway, all because she's nursed a grudge against me for years. I will never forgive her. I will never forget. And I will never again underestimate what resentment can drive a person to do, even to a child. Thank you for watching my story. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Stay tuned for more real-life stories, get more experiences.